All right, time for another 10 random New York hip hop albums. I'm going to start off with this one. It's called Chemistry, and it's by Ninth Wonder and Buckshot. So, Buckshot was a rapper from the group Black Moon, and Ninth Wonder was a very popular producer at the time. Not sure what he does these days. But, so again, one's got the beats, one's got the lyrics, and this came out 2004. I just found most of these collaboration albums in hip hop. They're rarely anything all that good. But Ninth Wonder was a great producer. Buckshot was a great rapper, and it's definitely worth a couple listens. Gonna move on to some albums by the Lox, solo albums. I actually don't have any of their group albums, and after all these years, they still just have the two: Money, Power, Respect, and We Are the Streets, and then just a lot of solo albums and mixtapes. I think so. But this was the first one I bought, the Jadakiss solo album, Kiss the Game Goodbye. Came out 2001. And there are skips on here, but still there's like 10 great ones. Jada's Got a Gun, Show Discipline. Knock Yourself Out was a pretty good single. We Gonna Make It. I remember everyone thought that was one of the best beats of the year. Kiss is Spittin', kind of a spin on Warren G and Nate Dogg's Regulate. With DMX, which at the time I think was interpreted as a bit of a Jay-Z diss, but no names are mentioned, I'm not too sure. His album after this, Kiss the Game Goodbye, I remember I downloaded that at the time. That was pretty good as well, but as far as I'm concerned, this is his highlight. So also from the Lox, you have Styles, A Gangster, and A Gentleman. The song that everyone liked was I Get High. I think that's what it was called. Black Magic, that's a good one. And Nobody Believes Me. I'm really into that one as well. Now, when it comes to the Lox, it feels like everyone loves Styles and Jadakiss. And I always like the third member, Sheik, twice as much. I guess you could argue he's not as lyrically talented, but he's just as entertaining. He's got a great delivery. And I think I liked his debut solo album, Walk With Me, better than those last two albums I talked about. It's just more consistent. 14 strong gangster rap songs. The only guest appearances are from Styles, Jadakiss, and J Hood. And again, it's hard to pick standouts. I like the whole thing. But the closer, Mighty D Block, and May the Third One Turn It Up. I like all those. Vendetta by Mike Geronimo. Mike Geronimo is a rapper I don't hear brought up anymore, but he was from Queens, New York, and he put out this album in 1997. And I mostly remember him for having a association with Irv Gotti. Irv Gotti is one of the executive producers here, and I think he did a couple guest appearances with some early Murder Inc. stuff. He had a song called Shit's Real. I think before this that was a bit of a hit. And I thought this was a solid album, but another one I haven't put on in forever. I don't hear people take this album seriously, but I think this is a bit of an underrated classic. This is Octopus by Akinyele. So he has that famous song, Put It In Your Mouth. And these songs are all very, let's just say, sexually explicit. Every single song. But he's a good rapper. And some of these songs really are really good. I try to kind of keep it kind of clean on YouTube because I do a lot of these videos with my son. So I won't go into the song titles, but half of this album is great. The other half's okay. he put out this album a couple years later. This is called Anaconda. And this was a massive step down. My favorite song is the first one, Gangsters. And Akinyele, you don't hear about him much anymore, and he seems to be known for just a couple songs, almost kind of gimmick songs. But I think his first kind of break into the mainstream was, I think it was called Live at the Barbecue or something. It had a bunch of respected artists, including predominantly Nas, and he was on that. And I also heard on some podcasts some old urban legends, some old New York story about him getting into a fight with some other rapper's crew. I forget. Okay, Busta Rhymes, The Coming. I've never been much of a Busta Rhymes guy, and I can't even tell you a song that I really like here off the top of my head. But this was his best album. Just everyone that I know is familiar with his stuff tells me the same thing. And this one I always liked. And it was one of my early hip-hop albums. I was never a skater, but maybe around the time I was 14, I kind of wanted to be. And was starting to buy Thrasher magazine. And I just remember there was a review of a review of this album, and they're just saying this is one of the best hip hop albums ever. And I was like, oh, Thrasher magazine says it's good. Maybe it'll be a good album for a rock guy like me. It's all right. Flip Mode Squad, The Imperial. Flip Mode Squad was Busta Rhymes' crew of rappers. I don't know if they did anything else besides this one. This is on East West Violator, 1998. Got Buckshot on here. Oh, this one's pretty good. And finally, Funkmaster Flex, 60 Minutes of Funk Volume 4, the mixtape. So of course, the mixtape thing is still a big deal to this day. But I do miss the days of these DJs putting out these compilation albums. It'd always be short songs, 20, 25 songs. They'd have mainstream rappers, slightly underground rappers. The mainstream stuff would usually be coming a little bit more hardcore, putting out some stuff that I was into. Just looking over it quickly, Dr. Dre, DMX, Nelly, Genuine, Notorious B.I.G., Eminem, Jermaine Dupri, Lil Bow Wow, Lil Kim, Ja Rule, Project Pat, 3-6 Mafia, just all over the hip-hop world during this time in 2000. And that's it. Thanks for watching.